Filing Made Easy, Section 2, Rules 6 through 10. Rule 6, Unusual and Foreign Names. When it is hard to determine which part of the unusual or foreign name is the surname or last name, consider the last written part to be the surname. For example, look at number 1. Trey New Than. This is not a familiar name. However, Than is the last name written, so we are going to assume that it is the last name or surname. It will be placed in Unit 1. Trey, being the first name written, will be considered the first name, so it will be placed in Unit 2. And New, being in the middle, will be placed in Unit 3. Use the same alphabetizing rules as before. Complete self-check exercise number 6. Rule 7, Seniority Designations. When identical names have seniority designations such as third, second, junior, or senior, the seniority designation become the last indexing unit and are used to determine the correct alphabetical order. Arabic numbers such as third or fourth, the numbers that we're familiar with, are filed before all Roman numerals. III meaning 3 and IV meaning 4. Both Arabic and Roman numerals are filed in numeric order before the words junior or senior. When using the words junior or senior to determine which identical name would be first in alphabetical order, we know that J comes before S. So Black J.T. Jr. would come before Black J.T. Sr. If you look at Blackman Henry O., we have Henry the second, third, and fourth. However, second and third are written using Roman numerals. Therefore, Henry Blackman the fourth comes first. Henry Blackman the second and third would follow. Complete self-check exercise number 7. Rule number 8, Titles and Degrees. Professional titles such as doctor, mayor, and senator, personal titles such as Mr., Mrs., or Ms., military ranks such as major, general, private, and academic degrees such as PhD, MA, and MD are not considered in filing except to distinguish between two or more identical names. They are considered the last indexing unit after all other units, including seniority titles. For example, number 1, Mayor May Brax. Brax being her last name, May being the first name, and Mayor being the title. Brax would go in Unit 1, May would go in Unit 2, and Mayor would go in Unit 3, Mayor being the title. When looking at numbers 2 and 4, we have the same name, Brax being the last name and Brad being the first name. However, in Unit 3 for number 2, we have MD, and in Unit 3 for number 4, we have Dr., DR. We would use traditional rules of alphabetical order. Looking at Unit 3, D comes before M. Therefore, Brax, Brad, Dr. comes before Brax, Brad, MD. Complete self-check exercise number 8. Rule 9, Religious and Royal Titles and Pseudonyms. Personal names that begin with religious or royal titles such as father or queen, followed by only a first name, are indexed and alphabetized as written. A pseudonym, a made-up name such as Little Richard, is indexed and alphabetized as written. For example, number 1, Father Lawrence. Father being the religious title goes in Unit 1. Lawrence being the first name goes in Unit 2. If you see, we copy the names in the exact same order as they appear when printed together. Father going first, Lawrence going second. For a name like Mr. Clean, a made-up name, made-up person, Mr. being first will go in the Unit 1 box, and Clean being second will go in Unit 2. You then follow your rules of alphabetizing to determine the order. Complete Exit 9. Check your answers. Rule number 10, Identical names. Rule number 10 is the most complicated rule we have seen. When two or more names are identical, the addresses are used to determine the correct filing order. The parts of the address are compared in the following order. 1. Town or city name. 2. State or province name. 3. Street name. And 4. House or building number in ascending numeric order. Ascending means from smallest to largest. If we look at the examples, all of the names are Patrice Sanchez. Because they have identical names, we must then go to look at the addresses. Numbers 1 through 4 are in Jackson, and number 5 is in Cincinnati. Because we know that C comes before J, we know that the first one to be alphabetized will be Sanchez Patrice, Cincinnati, Ohio, 116 Center Street. We then have to go back and look at the 4 that all have Jackson as the city. The next step is to look at the state. 1 and 4 have Georgia, and 2 and 3 have Ohio. Because G comes before O, we will be looking at 1 and 4 to determine which comes next. Both addresses are on Center Street, so we need to go and look at the house or building number. Number 1 has a unit 6 or house number of 116, and number 4 has 228. We know that 116 comes before 228. So our second name on the list is going to be Sanchez Patrice, Jackson, Georgia, 116 Center Street. The third one will be Sanchez Patrice, Jackson, Georgia, 228 Center Street. 228 comes after 116. We can then go back and look at the two that have the same address of Jackson and Ohio. One is on Center Street and the other is on Blake Street. Because B comes before C, we know that Sanchez Patrice, Jackson, Ohio, 1480 Blake Street will come before Sanchez Patrice, Jackson, Ohio, 116 Center Street. Complete exercise number 10 and check your answers. The next activity is the review exercise number 2. These use the rules of 6 through 10. Index and alphabetize the following names in the spaces provided. Now complete the reinforcement exercise number 2. The following exercise is based off of rules 6 through 10. Index and alphabetize the following names in the spaces provided.